up with what to eat for dinner could be a challenge, but at Ezra Wellness, it doesn't have to be. Stay with your lady Salome in this video and I'm going to show you some options for dinner that you could enjoy whilst eating the Ezra Wellness way. Stay tuned. Hello lovely people, welcome to Ezra Wellness where you learn proven ways to healthy living. This is your lady Salome Adamako. I'm a nurse by profession. If you want to learn proven ways to healthy living, subscribe to my channel. When you do, click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my educative videos. Today, I'm talking about options for dinner, the Ezra Wellness way. I see that I have some new subscribers. I say thank you and welcome to Ezra Wellness. Well, when it comes to dinner, there are some things that I want you to have at the back of your mind. At Ezra Wellness, we encourage that you eat carbohydrate once a day. And that means once a day. So I'm making this video hoping that you'll be eating your carbohydrate for dinner or lunch. So this video is either dinner or lunch depending on when you eat your carbohydrate. And then another point that I also want you to know is that when it comes to eating carbohydrate, make sure your sauce, your stew, your veggies are more than the carbohydrate that you're eating at that time. Point number 3, at Ezra Wellness, we do not count calories. What? Yes, we don't. Because the body doesn't know calories, the body knows the food types that you eat. We do not count calories. But if you choose the right sources of food to eat, you will lose weight and it will surprise you. Also, at Ezra Wellness, what we encourage is that when you are buying meat, I want you to look for grass-fed. When you go, it says grass-fed meat. This one says organic though, but it also says grass-fed. And that is the kind of meat that you want because that is the meat that the cows ate grass. You're not in the United States or in any of the developed countries and you say, where will I find grass-fed? Back home, I'm talking about the cows that ate grass. So those are the best source of meat, not the ones that were raised with corn, because we all know cows are not supposed to eat corn. And then when it comes to meat also, I want you to keep it at a minimum. Just eat it once in a while. Don't let it be something that you eat all the time. Then the point that I also want to talk about is your chicken. When it comes to chicken, pasture-raised chicken is the most high-quality chicken that you could get. But sometimes at the store, you might not find pasture-raised. So organic chicken or the chicken that says no antibiotic on it, that means it's the quality chicken that you could get. And if you're back home, you want to go for the chicken that is walking around the house. If you're koko, yes, that is what I'm talking about. That is the kind that you want, not the poultry raised or the cold store kind of chicken. And then when it comes to fish, you want to go for the wild catch fish, not farm raised fish. With that said, I want us to talk about some alternatives that you could use instead of what you're eating right now. I know culturally a lot of people eat peanut butter soup. Peanut butter soup, and at Ezra Wellness, we discourage the eating of peanuts because of its high lactose content and its inflammatory properties. Because of that, we encourage that you use almond butter. And almond butter, you could get your own almonds, take the skins off and make your own butter. Or when you go to the store, you could get almonds to buy. You're saying, Salome, I'm home, I don't get almonds. Well, you could do rare soup. That should be fine. It should be able to replace your nkatekwan for you if you're somebody that loves that kind of soup. Also, when it comes to your salt, you want to get the iodized sea salt. That is a high quality salt that you could get. And I always say cayenne pepper for your stir fries and your seasonings and stuff, because the cayenne pepper is the pepper that they've taken the skin and the seeds out. That is why I always advocate for this kind of pepper. Some people are out there who really love soy sauce. They use it for their stir fries. Soy sauce, you could replace that with coconut aminos. And that one, you use it in your stir fry, it tastes great. It's made out of coconut, lactose free, and it's excellent. You could get it at most stores to buy. And then when it comes to pasta, if you're a pasta person, there are varieties out there that you could get. This one is made out of sweet potato. They start from sweet potato, and you can use this kind of pasta. You could get it at the Asian store. Or there is ones that are gluten-free pasta. This is made out of lentil and rice, and this is the best alternative compared to your wheat source of pasta. So if you're a pasta person, you could go for that. Another option for pasta also will be your cauliflower. If you're somebody who loves macaroni and cheese, you could cut this cauliflower into smaller pieces and use it as you would use your macaroni when you have your cheese and everything ready. And that also will be able to replace your source of pasta. Now let's go to rice. Almighty rice. I know a lot of people eat rice. And then rice, what we advocate that you use when it comes to rice is your millet. And millet is what you could use for rice. You could cook it as regular rice. You could cook it as rice balls. You could make it as, you just cook it as rice porridge and all that. You could do that. And also, sorghum is an option that you could also cook it like you will cook your rice. You see, Salome, you haven't talked about Banku yet. I know people love Banku, and at Ezra Wellness, we discourage the use of corn. So this same millet and sorghum could be made into powder. Then you could use it for your Banku. When you get a little bit of cassava dough and add it to it, that will be fine. If not, you could also just make your cassava dough into your Banku, and that should work perfectly fine. So now that we are done with the alternatives, let's look at soups that you could have when it comes to Ezra Wellness. I already talked about almond butter soup. I talked about rare. Then you could also have your palm nut soup. You could have green soup. You could have coconut soup. You could have vegetable soup. You could make your chicken broth, use that as your base and make a vegetable soup out of it. You could make some chicken soup. Any kind of soup with all the recommended vegetables that we have out there, you could make that and enjoy at dinner time. Also, you could make stews. And stews, I know that we normally use tomato a lot. Make sure you de-seed your tomato and then take the skin off when you're making your stew and your soup. Once you do that, you could use that for your soup and stews without any problems. Your stews, you could have, this is red cabbage. This is green cabbage. This is Brussels sprouts. You could use it as you will use your cabbage. Your cauliflower, you could use it for stew. You have your spinach here that you could also use that for stew. And then I have mushroom here that you could also use that for your stew. And then when it comes to the stews, the Brussels sprout as a stew one time, cabbage, spinach, any way you want to go for the spinach. Either you want to make it like with your agushi, but replace the melon seeds with egg white. And then, or you could also use okra for your stew. And then you could use vegetables, all the vegetables that we talk about that is approved. You could also use that for your stew. And since we are talking about dinner where we eat our carbohydrates, I'll talk about a few of the carbohydrates that I have here. This is sweet potato. And this is the red kind. They have the other kind of sweet potato. Provided it's sweet potato, you could cook it any way that you want to eat it. Bake it, boil it, fry it. You could enjoy that. This is green plantain. This is how it looks like. And green plantain, you could boil it, fry it, any way that you could make it, you could make that and eat. And if you're not familiar with the green plantain, what you could do to make it really simple for you, wash it, cut the top, cut the bottom, cut it into two, and cut every part in half. Boil it, and once you're done, you take the skin off, your green plantain is ready to enjoy. And then, this is cassava or yucca root. And cassava, you could use it in a lot of recipes, depending on what you're doing. You could use the cassava, make it in a dough for your Banku. You could, the dry cassava, the powder, konkonte, you could eat that when it comes to Ezra Wellness. You surprised? Don't be surprised, because I tell you, Ezra Wellness eating is a lot of options. Okay, you're saying, oh, cassava, when it's made into gari, you could use it as eba. You have it as a cheke, you could enjoy that. And then, when it also comes to yam, this is yam that I have here, and there is different kinds of yam out there that you could enjoy. So it doesn't matter what kind of yam that you get. Yam is something that you could also enjoy, and it doesn't matter how you cook it, you could enjoy that. So then you say, with everything that I've talked about, I know you've already realized there is so many options that you could eat. Any of the soup that I mentioned, you could use that with your fufu. You could use that with your millet flour banku and enjoy. You could make your cabbage stew with yam one day. You could have your plantain with your spinach another day. You could have your banku, millet flour banku with okra another day. You could have your almond butter soup with your banku another time. You could have your konkonte with your palm nut soup another time. The possibilities are endless. I know you're saying to yourself, Salome, you could eat all that and lose weight. Trust me, you could and lose weight. But the only thing is that you eat it once a day. You say, Salome, but I don't want to lose weight. Well, if you don't want to lose weight, still remember, too much carbohydrate kills. And that is the truth, believe it or not. There's a lot of studies that prove that carbohydrate do kill. So if you don't want to lose weight, you want to eat the carbohydrate a couple of times a day, make sure it's always the smallest amount that you could eat and have more vegetable, stew, or sauce. So sometimes people say that, oh, maybe I think this is a diet I cannot eat. I don't even call this a diet. It's a way of life. That once you choose to eat this way, there are so many options that you could eat. I'm going to put all these alternatives of the foods that you could have so that you will look at it and know exactly how to go about it. So now you know exactly how to eat, eating the Ezra Wellness way. So for example, if one day you choose to drink your green smoothie in the morning, you could have salad for lunch, and then dinner, you could eat your fufu. You say, Salome, how many times can I eat fufu in a week? The goal is at least 2 or 3 times. Make sure you just mix them up. Eat the different kinds of food that is available. I don't just want us to stick to one thing like we've been doing with the rice for a long period of time. There are other options that you could eat because the bacteria in your stomach, they love the variety. So once you do that, then things will go well with you with the diet. You say, Salome, but what about the other meals? If you haven't seen it yet, check out my video on what breakfast I should eat, and then lunchtime, please, so you'll be able to know how to eat the Ezra Wellness way. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for watching this video. Are you new to this channel? Don't forget to subscribe, and when you do, click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my educative videos. Until I see you in the next video, remember, this is Ezra Wellness, where you learn proven ways to healthy living. Thank you for your time.